Well, hi there, YouTubers! Thanks for tuning into the CNC channel. Today we're going to work on a little messy job that needs to be done every now and then. If you have been, if you've been using your machine at some point in time, you're gonna have to service this component, and this is basically the mesh or mesh grid or whatever that is used at the return of the coolant into the coolant tank, and basically this mesh is used to trap chips and particles that you don't want on your coolant, because of course that's gonna clog up your pump. Now this is just a conventional your conventional screen mesh, which you can find on a bunch of different places, and very fine, of course. I couldn't find this on Home Depot and or Lowe's. Well, actually I don't go to Lowe's, but I couldn't find this on Home Depot. Tormax says go to McMaster, they have it there, so I may try that in the future. But in the meantime, I thought of going to Home Depot and get something similar to get me going, and it's not the same width, same separation of the holes. I couldn't find anything this fine, so maybe I will have to go to McMaster. But this was like $8, and I have plenty of mesh here for a while, so I'm thinking if I put two of them and I interleave them, I should be able to get something good enough. We'll see. This is a very simple job. All you have to do is remove 6 screws and replace the mesh. No big deal. So let's do it. Wow, look at that. I mean, this stuff is nasty. I'm not certain why this coolant was so thick. Something tells me the previous owner didn't use the right percentage of water and coolant. The machine was covered in this icky stuff, and of course that can happen if you use too much coolant and too little water. But luckily I have been able to clean most of it, and the mechanics are seem to be okay. So you definitely don't want the machine to rust, that's for certain. Alright, so I'm just gonna go and cut some of this material and see. We'll have to make 6 little holes. You know what, before I go there, I'm gonna clean this up because this is just too messy. So I'm gonna clean this up off camera. No need to bore you with details on how to clean that stuff. I imagine by now you know how to clean. So I'll just clean this off camera and be back. Alright friends, a lot has happened since the previous shot. Well, at least 4 days. Today is Thursday, and I'm not certain when I recorded the previous speed, but it was either Saturday or Sunday. And the goal was to use this guy here to fix the coolant shield or trap or screen, whatever you want to call it. You know, when you're at the store looking at this mesh, it looks like those holes are small enough, but then you remove your the actual screen, and it's like, man, it's like a freaking abyss. The size of this guy is humongous as when compared to the size of this guy. So I'm not certain what's the sizing here. I browse John from the John Greensmo from the Greensmo Brothers knife making channel, and what they did is that they went to McMaster, which is what I wanted to avoid. I wanted to avoid going to McMaster to just order one thing, but you know, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. So this is not gonna cut it. I'm just tossing it out. I'm not certain if that will ever be used, or if it will end in the trash a few years from now. But anyway, here is the actual screen, and it looks way better than it did a few minutes ago before I cleaned it with some degreaser, but it did an amazing job. And you know, I'm thinking perhaps this can be reused, but this was poorly cut. Look at these cuts. I mean, it's pretty bad, and these holes are they're not even holes. So this is really not going to be. It's not going to stay there. I'm actually amazed that this worked. It's pretty clean. I mean, it's amazing how the degreaser does the job. So this could be used, but since I got plenty of material, I'm just gonna put a new one. And what you will want to do if you need to do this, and eventually at some point in time you will need to do this, is to get some stainless steel 30 by 30 .012. See, there you go. You can pause in there, and I will also put the part number that I got from McMaster, and that way you know what is it that you're looking for. The John Greensmo video has a part number that really didn't I couldn't find anywhere. It's one of those part numbers that is most likely an internal one, but it's not an orderable part number. So unfortunately, I am not certain if I am getting the exact same stuff that he got, but that's okay. Alright, here is what I got. This you know, after shipping and stuff, it's like $25, and it's very thick. It's very thick material, and it's actually bigger holes, but I couldn't find anything with smaller holes. I'm gonna try to see if I can put a capture of this on the maybe under the microscope, and we can see. But you know, this has to work even when the holes are bigger than the actual mesh in here. This has to work, and it's okay. I couldn't find anything smaller, so this is way sturdier. I mean, you can bend this easy, but this one is basically harder. It almost makes me wonder if there are two in here, but no, it's just one. It just feels sturdier than this one. Alright, so obviously we're gonna mark it and cut it. Here's the vessel that we're gonna use to mark. Now let me say a few things. First of all, this is 12 by 24. I could have bought 12 by 12, and I would have paid the exact same amount of shipping. So I figure, let's get enough material here to fix this for at least 5 years to come. And of course, I have been using the one that came with the first machine for 4 years, so it is very possible that this material is gonna outlast the machine, because there is enough material here for a while. Now I have two machines, so maybe it will last a little bit less. But that takes us into the realm of how I'm gonna cut it. Am I gonna cut it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not gonna be 6. I know it's not gonna be 6. Or do I cut it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So clearly I lose less material if I do it like this. That's how I'm gonna mark it here. And obviously we're gonna lose some material. There is no way around that. I'm not certain if this is square. It doesn't look square, but because obviously we're gonna lose some material anyway, I'm gonna use my Sharpie. And you don't need to mark the holes now, but I'm gonna do it anyway just because I'm already here. And you know, there is nothing else to mark in this stuff, so I'm not gonna bore you with details. I'm just gonna go ahead, cut it. Do let me show you what I'm gonna use to cut it, as that is kind of important. But before I move on, let me show you the product that I use to clean the older, I don't know where I put it, but the older mesh. And I'm positive you've seen this before. Purple Power, you can get this anywhere, pretty much Walmart or your favorite auto shop. It is amazing how awesome this cleans, and considering this machine came filled up with an oily residue. That has proven to be very useful. Now, I have not used that product on the metal on the machine, but that's how I clean stuff like the let me show you, stuff like this, right? And this is not as clean as the others. I didn't spend a lot of time cleaning this because this is the one that is broken. But boy, I mean, this was filled with so much junk, and I tried water, it wouldn't do squat, and that purple stuff, it did wonders. So you'll see in some other video how awesome is the machine looking. I'm not certain what it would do to the metal, so I mean, I imagine it's okay. I imagine that's the purpose of such a product, is to clean metallic surfaces. But just to be certain, I'm not risking it. Alright, let me show you what I'm going to use to cut this puppy. These are cheapo thin snips, I think is what they call. Shears, basically shear cutters. And they're used for sheet metal. But in this case, obviously, we're going to use it for this stainless steel. Now, I didn't realize, but this is stainless steel 304. And although I am not a metallurgist and I don't know all of the details, I'm under the impression this stuff is pretty nasty to cut. At least I know that 304, like if you're working 304 on your milling machine or any other machine, is gonna be tougher than 303. That's what I've seen and heard. So hopefully, I mean, these are shears that I bought on Harbor Freight. So if I have to throw them on the trash, believe me, it's not like I'm gonna end up below a bridge asking for money. So if they die, it's not the end of the world. But hopefully it's not too hard to cut. Let's do a quick test here just to be certain. Well, let me give you a recommendation. You may want to wear gloves. This stuff gets sharp really fast, and why risk destiny when we have the tools to ensure our safety? I'm recording a video. I'm recording an instructional video for Daddy's channel. Alright, this is cut. Be careful with this stuff. I mean, this stuff is super sharp. Not that it's gonna chop off your finger, but definitely no need to enhance the chances of blood. And there we go. Now we have to make holes, of course. That's the easy part. And we will be done. But before I do that, of course, I'm gonna use this as my template for cutting the other ones, and I'm just gonna store them as already cut, and I don't have to worry about it when the next time comes. Well, I was able to cut 5 units, and this stuff, it goes into the trash, completely useless unless unless I can think of what else to use this for. But to be honest, chances are I'm gonna get cut horrendously. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. Right now I'm gonna put my first unit here. I'm gonna put this guy back, and this is a 7/32 cheapo Harbor Freight drill. I imagine this will be enough. But you know what? I gotta be careful because the other side is threaded, so I definitely don't want to use too big of a drill. I'm gonna use something else. Right, I'm gonna go with a 5/32. I don't think the holes on the other side are threaded. That's obviously a misconception. But there are screws that are gonna grab into this. So if I make this hole too big, then of course I would need to put like nuts or something. There we go. And now, just to give it a try here, put the screw. The screws are filthy. I'm not gonna clean them up though. No need to. Okay, I'm gonna have to rate this guy. Screw won't go in. I'll be darned. Maybe I do need a bigger drill. This is probably idiotic, but the screw doesn't want to go in through the mesh because the hole is not big enough. So I'm just going to expand it by hand using this chuck and the 732nd. Now we go. Yep, that worked. I'm gonna repeat for the other 5 holes, and I'll get back with any closing remarks, if any. Well, here we go. Mission complete. Really not bad. Looks, feels very firm, and I'm positive this will last a very long time. Years of scooping chips and junk. All I have to do now is clean the other one, which could definitely get a little servicing. So for the equivalent, I think it was something like $25. You can get five of this. So basically $5 a pop. It's not bad. By the way, be careful with these needle-like pieces of stainless steel. Definitely time to vacuum. But this project is complete. So now you know how to do it, where to get the components, and how to get this puppy going. Thank you for tuning to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.